I've started a new chapter in my life. I've come to South Australia for my first experience of freedom, adventure, and van life. Hi, welcome. I'm in Robe in the southeast of South Australia, and over the coming days I'm going to explore this corner of Australia. It's a beautiful part of the world. I'll be travelling the Limestone coast from Kingston SC to the most southerly point of South Australia at Cape Northumberland. At Kingston you'll find the unique relocated Cape Jaffa Lighthouse and the biggest thing in town, the Big Lobster. So Robe was proclaimed in 1847. It actually became the second busiest port in South Australia after Port Adelaide. This is Lake Butler Marina. It's one of the marinas in Robe. This fleet here is for lobster fishing. Robe is one of the lobster fishing capitals of Australia. What a beautiful little peaceful spot it is. If I get the story right, it used to be a little lake that was cut off from the sea, and the fishermen in the old days used to drag their boats over the sandhills and moor them here for safekeeping. These days there's a channel that's built out to the sea, and they can get out there pretty easily. There's the sandhills over there. Of course, in those days they weren't like these modern trawlers. The boats look more like this. And here's a little reminder that fishing is dangerous work. There's a memorial here for local fishermen who have lost their lives over the years. You know it's a fishing village because it smells like fish. I am at the harbour. Maybe that's got something to do with it. Robe has some lovely little town beaches, but what really brings people here is the impressive Long Beach. This beach just keeps going and going and going. One of the most iconic images of Robe is its famous old obelisk. That was built in 1865 for about £250, and it's still there today. The cliff is actually weathering away, but the obelisk stands strong. What we have behind me is the remains of the old Robe jail. And this jail here was built just several years after the establishment of Robe. Apparently it wasn't built very well. A couple of years after it was built, a couple of prisoners escaped. They kind of scratched their way out the wall, which is why they put metal plates in now to prevent that from happening. During the 1850s, gold was discovered in Victoria, and that brought people from all over the world in search of riches, people from Scotland and Ireland and England. It also brought people from China, but the government in Victoria at the time didn't want Chinese in the colony, so they forbade ships carrying Chinese from landing in Melbourne. Consequently, Chinese landed here in Robe, and this is a memorial to them. They landed here, there was something like 16,500 Chinese, and they had to make the overland trek more than 200 miles to the goldfields in Victoria. There's an old sea mine here in the main street. Apparently this German mine was found on the beach in 1841. As the afternoon wound down, I camped my van, Vanessa, in a local caravan park, had a great sleep and woke ready for more exploring the next morning. And I started the day with a short coastal walk on the edge of town. So this is Glass Beach at Robe. Just going to go for a little walk to start the day and have a look at some of this rugged coastline. So this little coastal walk goes past Doorway Rock, which is the arch, and follows the coast for about 1 kilometre or so and ends up at the ruins of the old jail, which we saw earlier, and the obelisk. Robe really is a charming seaside town with its beaches, historic buildings and plenty of cafes. Okay, so that's Robe. Gonna head in for a coffee. That'll give me some energy, and then we're gonna head down the coast a little further. Cute little cute little glasses. Cheers. Always got to start the day with a coffee or two. So even though I grew up in South Australia, I've never been to this part of the country before. So I guess we're going to be exploring it together. Let's see what we can find with the wild ocean coast, with its rock formations and lakes and conservation parks. Traveling in the van, it gets pretty noisy when you're on a gravel road. Everything's shaking and bumping and banging. This is Little Dip Beach as part of Little Dip National Park. It's there's nobody here. That's something I love about van life. You could just go somewhere off the beaten track and have the entire world to yourself. The cool thing about van life is you've got plenty of time to explore the back roads, even if they are a little bumpy. I was following this dirt road because somebody suggested I should go to a place called Nora Craner. Never heard of it. Maps have said I've arrived at Nora Craner. I just want to show you what it looks like. There's nothing here. There's absolutely nothing here. I mean, all that's missing is an old crow cawing and a couple of tumbleweeds. Well, the sign over there says to the beach, so let's go to the beach. Hopefully we can get there, eh? Okay, there's a little settlement here, but it's a private road, so apparently you can't go in. I'm not sure. Okay, well, here's the walkway to the beach, so let's walk to the beach and see what we can find here. Wow, what a cool little beach. What a cool little bay. It's practically deserted. Just a couple of holiday shacks up on the hills there. And that's all that's here. That's one of the cool things about Australia. You can get off the beaten track and find a really lovely beach all to yourself in the middle of nowhere. There's so many beaches in Australia. I think we have more than 10,000, probably a lot more. There are a whole series of lakes around this area. This one's called Lake St. Clair. It looks pretty dry and salty. This is a little place called Wokewine Cutting. The story here is that one of the early settlers, the McCourt family, wanted to settle a peat swamp a little bit up the road here, but they needed to drain the swamp. So in a feat of engineering, they created this massive cutting to drain the swamp into the lake. This was done in 1960, and according to the signage here, it says it was the largest privately funded civil works construction in Australia. What? Oh my God. And here's some of the machinery that cut that incredible gorge. Well, that was fun. Now I'm heading into the coastal town of Beachport. I reckon it'll be a nice place to stop and get some lunch because I'm starving. What a charming little coastal town this is. It's really nice. Alright, I'm refueled with a nice veggie burger and chips, so let's explore a bit of Beachport. So I'm taking what they call Bowman Scenic Drive, just out of Beachport. It just takes you around the local area and shows you all the nice scenic spots. Yet another sensational beach. I could just sit and watch the waves for hours. About an hour or so from Bridgewater, I've arrived at Port Macdonald. This is South Australia's most southerly town, and it's home to South Australia's largest lobster fleet. So it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. I've been busy all day running around. So I think the job now is to find somewhere to stay tonight. And I think I've found somewhere to stay. This is actually a free park up. There's the old lighthouse over there in the distance. And a little bit of something to explore out here. So I'm gonna have a look. Wow, this is awesome. Not only did I have an incredible free camp for the night, but I'd also reached the end of my trip down the Limestone coast. This is Cape Northumberland, the southernmost point of South Australia. What a breathtaking place to spend the night. It's just sensational. Oh my goodness. Have a look at this. I ate dinner with a view and then wandered out one last time to watch the sun set. And in this moment, I realised this is exactly what I longed for when I started van life.